like she would enjoy Moab. Hate to say it, but I think she would enjoy it there. Okay, let's see. Is it? Okay, bye, Jill. Thanks for the conversation. Let's see, everybody's. Is it? So just Travis and Jill. Yay. And Ruby. That's cutie, Ruby. I tried to dye her tail purple a little bit, and it's just like very, 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 very subtle purple now. She's like a unicorn. She's beautiful. She's perfect. Okay, got my Facebookers. Got my 2 VIPs over here. I'm gonna mute you. Muty. And then, yeah. Feel free to play music if you want or not if you don't want. Drink your coffee. What else? And we'll just do it. I'm gonna try to keep it to 60 minutes. I always say that and I never do it, so don't get your hopes up, but. All right. Let's just start in a seat as usual. And you can take a moment, just kind of stretch around. Feel into your body. Roll out your shoulders, your neck. Anything that feels good, just ride off. And then eventually, just find stillness. So, sit up nice and tall with awareness, with intention and attention. Close your eyes and take just these first couple moments to fully arrive in your body. Notice sensations, notice emotions, just notice what's going on inside. Notice your breath. And then I'm just going to let you on your own today, if you want to take a few big, deep breaths, exhale out your mouth, go for it. Or if you want to just right away start to tap into your Ujjayi breath, that's perfect as well. So just take a moment in your seated meditation. And however you get there, just connect with your own internal rhythm. So eventually, Ujjayi breath in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. And then once you feel the connection to your breath, sorry for Ruby's barking, she doesn't do it much, but every once in a while. Once you feel that connection to your breath, just start to bring some movement into your upper body. So start with some seated cat-cows. So as you inhale, pull your chest forward, gaze slightly up. And as you exhale, lean back and round your spine. You can even lift your knees up a little bit if you're in a cross-legged position. So back and forth, or you can start to circle your torso all the way around. So just moving through your spinal column, stretching into your front body, your back body, and perhaps even your side bodies. And if you did choose to take full circles at any point, you can reverse them. And then no hurry. So if this movement is feeling really good, you want to stick with it a little bit longer, feel free. But eventually we'll come onto our hands and our knees, tabletop, and do pretty much the same thing. So start with cat-cows. Get more intuitive if you want to. Circle your hips around. Sit back into child's pose. Come forward to up dog, cobra. So just your own exploration of your body and especially your spine. And then in our next few rounds of breath, so let's just say next 3 to 5 rounds, We'll meet back in downward facing dog. So first down dog of practice, get there when you're ready. Once you're back in your down dog, pretty much the same thing, a little bit of exploration, shift your weight around. Shake your head, yes or no. Bend your knees a little, bend your knees a lot. Straighten your legs, lift your tiptoes, round your spine. So there's a million ways we can explore from the position of our down dog. Just be curious about that. Notice how your body feels today. So I find it so interesting, these poses, they're poses we do a lot. They're poses we come to pretty much every time we practice down dog. Most of us have probably been here hundreds of times before. But right now, in this moment, how does it feel in your body? Your body is different every single day, every single moment. So feel into it. Is there any little adjustment you can make so that it feels better for you or more beneficial? Where's your breath? Can you feel it moving through you? That big, spacious inhale and then a long, strong exhale all the way to emptiness. Let's take just a couple more rounds in our down dog and really focus on that lift that comes from your hips, that comes from your center. So you guys always hear me say it. Imagine there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling up towards the ceiling. It's tugging towards the back of whatever room you are in. So you feel that length in your spine, that length in your side bodies. Let's take one more inhale into our dog pose. And then exhale, look to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop. Forward fold. We're going to keep it going. Halfway lift, breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, release, bow, forward fold. Once more like that, halfway lift. So get all the rounding out of your back. As you breathe in, imagine you can lengthen the space in between each little vertebra. Exhale, let it go. Your choice, either roll or reverse swan dive. Take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky at the top. And exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's flow for a moment with our breath. High mountain, inhale. And lead with your heart, slow dive down so your butt sticks out behind you, weight is forward in your feet, then let it go. Halfway lift, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, fold in, empty out. Press into your feet, lead with your heart this time, rise up. Inhale, stretch, reach, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Once more like that, high mountain, inhale. Close your eyes, exhale, takes you down. So feel your body move through space from the inside. With your inhalation, create length, halfway lift. Back of your neck is nice and long. Exhale, fold, let it go. Now press into your feet. Heart guides you. Take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, inhale, arms to the sky. And then we're going to take a curtsy squat today. So pick up your left foot, swing it around behind you, and step it off the right side of your mat. So left tiptoes off the right side of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart, bend your knees, and get low. So hips stay square. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. So you're hugging through your inner thighs and toning through your low abdominals. Take some little pulses up and down. So they don't have to be great big, just 1 or 2 inches of movement is all. And feel that heat start to build in your legs. Keep a little tone in your belly and length in your spine, soften your face. Now get as low as you can. Hold here and take one more deep breath. Good job. Inhale, come back to center. Arms to the sky, stretch tall. Exhale, we'll take it to the other side. So pick up your right foot, swing it back behind you. Right tiptoes off the left side of your mat. Hands to heart. Bend your knees. Get low. And remember, we're not trying to lean forward and stick our butt out. So try to keep your spine nice and long. Little tone in your belly. Neutral spine. Take your little pulses up and down. And again, that heat, as it starts to build, just send your breath there. Get as low as you can. Hold. Be still. Take one more round. Inhale, high mountain, arms to the sky, stretch. Exhale, cactus your arms, little baby back bend, open through your heart. Inhale, re-extend, realign your spine. And exhale, slow swan dive takes you all the way down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, and just take your vinyasa, your first vinyasa, however you want to. So if you like to add push-ups, go for it. If you want to take it on your knees, perfect. Any back bend variation, and you're welcome to take an extra breath or two. Eventually, we'll see you back in downward facing dog. Just transition with awareness, with intention. No rush. Once you're back in your down dog, reconnect to those great big huge breaths, Ujjayi breath. And you've got about 5 rounds in your down dog, so feel free to move and explore, or feel free to just be still. Only your breath moves, so feel that expansion and contraction of each inhale, each exhale. I was using my husband's yoga mat and I don't like it, so I'm getting out this other one. I'm a yoga mat snob. If my hands are slipping, I can't stand it. So I love in my down dog to be able to press my hands down and even slightly forward. And then as I'm pressing my hands down and forward, I lift my hips up and back even further. So hopefully you have a mat where you can do that same thing without feeling like you're slipping and sliding around. Everyone has a different preference, I think, for their yoga mat. Let's take one more big inhale. And exhale, look to the top of your mat, step or hop, forward fold. Once you've arrived, spinal extension, breathe in. Exhale, let it go, fold. Root through your feet, reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to heart, and we're going to go through a couple of rounds of these sun A variations. So inhale, reach. Curtsy squat, left foot steps to the right. As you exhale, get low in your legs. Inhale, back to center, reach up. Exhale, other side, curtsy squat, hands to your heart, spine stays nice and long, as low as you can go. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, baby back bend, bottom tips of shoulder blades, squeeze, heart lifts. Inhale, arms re-extend, spine realigns. Exhale, takes you down slowly, follow your breath. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step back to the plank, see if you can keep that exhale going. Chaturanga, lower down. Back bend of your choice, breathe in. Little tone in your low belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a great big inhale into your dog pose. Press down through your hands, lift up through your sit bones. Exhale, look forward, step or hop, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Root through your feet, all the way up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, just like that. High mountain, breathe in. Curtsy squat, left foot steps to the right. Exhale, get low. Inhale, high mountain, stretch tall. Exhale, curtsy squat, other side. Right foot steps left, hands to heart. Inhale, back to center, reach up. And as you exhale, work your back bend. Keep your low abdominals gently toned. Inhale, arms to the sky, everything nice and long. Exhale, slow swan dive takes you down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Strong arms, strong belly. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog, shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. This time we're gonna stay here. Find your breath, fire it up. Next time you inhale, take your right leg to the sky. So take a moment just to really lengthen from your fingertips all the way up to your toes. Lift from your center. So you still got that invisible rope pulling up on your belly button, tugging back. Take one more inhale. Keep your hips super high. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So curl in. Shoulders over wrists, high on your back tiptoes. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat. And we'll rise up to Crescent Lunge when you're ready. So take a moment to settle. Find stability in your legs. Hug in with your inner thighs. Low abdominals are toned, chest is lifted. And then reach with your arms, reach through your fingertips. Soften through your face. Unclench your jaw. And just feel this posture in your body. Feel the strength in your legs, especially your back leg. See if you can fire up through the front of your back thigh or quad. Slow down your breath, big and deep. Take one more inhale, maybe reach a little higher, maybe gaze up. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your front thigh, lean forward. So press your hands into your thigh, draw your belly button in and up, and really think of breathing into your low back. See if you can feel your breath travel into your low back. And then as you're ready, we're gonna transition into a balanced Warrior 3 variation. So lean forward and float your back leg off the ground. Crown of your head reaches forward, left leg reaches back. Your belly is strong, so navel to spine, breathe into your low back. Stay here, or option to add some arms. Reach your arms forward or reach your arms out to the sides. Maybe you reach your arms back behind you, totally up to you. So your fullest expression, whatever that looks like in this moment. Take one more round. Land as soft as you can back in your Crescent Lunge. So left toes to the back of your mat. Arms to the sky. Inhale here. And exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Crawl your hands over to the left side of your mat. Parallel your feet and straighten out both of your legs. Inhale, spinal extension. So your feet and really stick your butt out behind you as you lengthen your spine. Now you may need to bend your knees a little bit or even a lot. See if you can reach your arms out to both sides. So palms face the ground and really press your arms up. And as you're pressing your arms up, press your chest down. Feel your back muscles squeeze around your spine even more. Feel all the strength there. If you have a big bend in your knees, maybe work your legs towards straight by pressing back through the tops of your thighs, broaden through your sit bones. Take one more big inhale so everything really long and spacious. Exhale, let it go. Wide-legged forward fold. 4 or 5 rounds of breath. So you can go wherever you want to. You can hold in stillness or you can explore on your own. Make sure your breath comes with you. So anywhere you want to take this pose, whatever feels most beneficial for you. You got a couple more breaths. Just notice, feel, and observe. Next time you breathe in, let's come back to our halfway lift, but this time your fingertips are just going to stay on the ground. And then crawl your hands forward to the top of your mat. Just step your back foot forward, forward fold, nice and easy. You can bring your big toes to touch or feet hips width distance apart. It's up to you. Halfway lift on an inhale. So lengthen out. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, chair pose. So weight in your heels, bend your knees, sit your butt back and lift your heart, reach up. So butt is reaching back rather than knees going forward. And then rather than your chest going forward and your head going forward, your gaze going down, squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, lift your heart. Keep drawing navel to spine so you're protecting your low back. See if you can sit down just a little bit lower. Soften through your face. One more inhale. Exhale, arms swing back, chair plane or drinking bird. So option to float to tiptoes. Your butt is reaching back behind you. Feel your belly button draw towards your spine. And then can you squeeze your back muscles more towards midline so they're hugging your spine. Strengthen through your back body. Take one more round. Stay on your tiptoes if you can. Inhale, high mountain all the way up, super, super tall. Woo, maybe stay on your tiptoes. Slow dive down, exhale. Heels on the ground, halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back, take your vinyasa, or if you'd rather skip it, totally fine. We'll see you back in down dog. No rush. Reconnect to your big, deep Ujjayi breaths. Next inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. So take just a moment here, lengthen from your fingertips all the way up to your toes or up to your heel. So just make your left leg really strong and powerful and keep lifting from your center. Keep pressing down through your hands. Spread your fingers really wide. Take one more big inhale. Keep your hips high. Exhale, knee to your nose. So shoulders over wrists, high on your back tiptoes. Stay here as you breathe in and curl in. And then step your left foot through softly. Rise up to Crescent Lunge. So take your time, find stability through your legs, hug in with your inner thighs, low abdominals slightly toned. So when I say toned, I don't mean you're squeezing and flexing your six-pack. I mean those little tiny, so they're your deepest abdominals, your transverse. They're underneath your six-pack. They're what hold all your internal organs in place, and then they also support your low back. So if you can find that little tone, it's going to feel a lot better on your low back. So just pay attention to that. How I sometimes find it is when you do a strong exhale, you feel those deepest, lowest abdominals. That's what you want to keep. So take a moment, just settle in, strength through both legs. Length through your spine and your side bodies, and then soften your face. Soften your outer body, your outer shell. Feel your breath moving through you. Let's take one more inhale. And as you exhale, hands to your front thigh, lean forward. So as you lean forward, rather than thinking of a cow pose in your spine like you're arching your back, I want you to think of almost rounding through your low back. Navel to spine lock, breathe into your low back. So that's going to be your big support as we move into our warrior three. So when you're ready, lean forward, back leg floats up. Keep your belly button drawing towards your spine. Spine long, side body is long. Gaze is down, back of your neck is long. You can stay here. So really press with your back foot. Reach forward through the crown of your head. Option to add some arms. Reach forward, reach out to the sides, reach back. Or you can keep your hands on your front thigh if you want. Your fullest expression. One more huge breath. We're gonna land back in our crescent lunge. So as soft as you can, right toes to the back of your mat, arms reach up. Take a big inhale here, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to the ground. Walk both hands over to the right side of your mat, parallel your feet, straighten out your legs, halfway lift. So pause here, and we're gonna reach our arms out to the sides. Bend your knees if you need to. Palms face the ground. So super long through your spine. And then press your arms up and your chest down at the same time. Feel your back muscles fire even more. Maybe straighten your legs by pressing back through the tops of your thighs. Broaden your sit bones. One more inhale. And as you exhale, let it all go. Wide-legged forward fold. 4 or 5 breaths. Anywhere you want to take it. Move and explore, or just be still. Whatever will best serve you. Big, spacious inhales. Long, strong exhales all the way to emptiness, so don't lose that connection to your breath. Don't lose the connection, your connection to this moment. So stay here in your body. Stay with your breath. Last couple of rounds. Next time you breathe in, we'll find our halfway lift position again. This time fingertips stay on the ground. And then exhale, crawl your hands forward. Rotate your toes forward and step your back foot forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, realign your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back, move through your vinyasa or skip it. We will see you in downward facing dog. Once you're back in your down dog, reconnect to your breath. We're going to move through that sequence 2 more times, breath to movement. So if at any time you need to take a little break, you need to go slower, you need to move on your own, please feel free. And that's the beauty of being in your own home. You really, truly can do whatever works best for you. So if you're coming with me, you're in down dog, stay where you're at, breathe in as big as you can. Hold in fullness. Exhale, let's take an open mouth sigh. Here we go. Ujjayi breath, right leg to the sky. Inhale. Softly exhale, right foot steps forward, low lunge. Inhale, rise, high crescent lunge, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to your front thigh, lean forward, prepare to balance. And inhale, float your back foot off the ground, warrior 3 variation. Stay for your exhale, option to add some arms. And inhale, back to crescent, soft landing, left toes to the back of your mat, arms reach up, breathe in. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground, crawl your hands to the left side of your mat, parallel your feet, straighten your legs. Halfway lift, breathe in, reach your arms out to both sides, so expand in every direction. Now exhale, fold, bow, draw your belly button towards your spine, forehead towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips down this time. Exhale, crawl your hands forward, rotate your toes forward, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let it go. Now, inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, weight in your heels, lift your heart. Exhale, chair plane or drinking bird. Option to float to tiptoes. High mountain, stay on your tiptoes if you can. Inhale as tall as you can grow. Maybe stay on your tiptoes. Exhale, slow dive. Take it down. Heels on the ground, spinal extension, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back, chaturanga. Try to keep that exhale going as you lower. Inhale, lift your heart. Stretch your front body, open your front body. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, as soft as you can, step forward. Low lunge. With your inhale, rise up to your crescent lunge. And as you exhale, hands to your front thigh, lean forward. Inhale, warrior three variation, back leg floats. Stay for your exhale, add arms if you'd like. Inhale, land back in crescent lunge as soft as you can. Reach up, gaze up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach your arms out to both sides. Spread your wings. And exhale, work your fold. Empty out. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips down. Exhale, walk your hands forward and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. We've got one more round. Listen here. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. So add a little twist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Now exhale, right knee, right elbow, or aim for your armpit as high as you can get on your arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, soft as you can, right foot forward, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent, rise strong through your legs. Exhale, hands to your front thigh, prepare for your balance. Inhale, back leg floats, breathe into your low back. Stay here as you exhale, add the arms if you'd like. Inhale, crescent lunge, soft landing, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to the ground, walk your hands to the left side of your mat, parallel your feet, straighten your legs, inhale, halfway lift. Reach your arms out to both sides. Exhale, fold, navel to spine, crown to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, this time fingertips stay down. Exhale, spider crawl your hands forward and step forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. One more time, we've got our chair pose. Inhale, bend your knees. Lift your heart, reach up. Exhale, chair plane or drinking bird. So maybe you're on your tiptoes. Stay on your tiptoes if you can. High mountain, breathe in, reach. Maybe stay on your tiptoes. Slow dive, exhale takes you down. Heels on the ground, spinal extension, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your mat, lower down. Inhale, peel your heart open. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, inhale, left leg high. Now listen, exhale, left knee, right elbow. Navel to spine, use your core strength. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left to left, as high as you can get on your left arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. And as soft as you can, exhale, left foot steps through. Rise up with your in-breath, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your front thigh, lean forward. And inhale, warrior three variation, back leg floats. Stay here as you exhale, add the arms if you want. Inhale, back to crescent, soft landing. Exhale, hands to the earth, walk your hands to the right side of your mat, wide-legged straddle position. Halfway lift, fly your arms, big wingspan, breathe in. Exhale, let it go, deep fold. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips down. exhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat. Now listen, you guys, step your front foot back, plank position. Pause here. Right hand is your base. Roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot. Left arm to the sky, side plank, Vashistasana. Lift your hips really high. Reach your left arm forward, lengthen through your left side. Stay here or float your left leg up. So your fullest expression, 2 more deep breaths. Soften your face. Soften your outer shell. We're gonna switch to the other side slowly with control. So come through plank, roll onto the baby toe edge of your left foot, right arm reaches up, lift your hips. Option to take your right arm forward, option to float your right leg up, lift your hips even higher. Soften your face, 2 more deep breaths. Unclench your jaw, loosen up through your forehead. 1 more inhale. Exhale, plank or modified plank. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, chaturanga. Back bend of your choice, breathe in. And then exhale, just a child's pose. Sit back and rest. If you'd rather take hero's pose, just a seated meditation, that is perfect as well. So take a moment, just feeling into your body. Just noticing, observing. And if your breath is sped up or if you've lost track of it, now is the perfect time to slow it down, to bring it back. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Bring your awareness back to this moment. And feel that energy moving through your body, that prana. And as you are ready, my friends, we will meet in a tabletop position, hands and knees. So from your hands and your knees, we're going to move into modified side plank. Pivot on your right knee, bring your right foot to the outside of your mat, send your left leg back and reach your left arm to the sky. So same thing we just did, but now we've got our right knee down, we're modifying. Take your left arm forward, lengthen your left side. So for now, your left foot is still on the ground. Press your left foot down firmly and see if you can reach your left arm further forward, lengthening even more. If this feels good, maybe this is where you stay. Otherwise, float your left foot up. And then final option, bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your left foot. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot and see if you can rotate your heart to look up at the sky. So take your gaze up and see if your heart can follow. Allow your heart to open. Breathe down into your low belly. Soften through your face. Give it everything you've got for 1 more deep breath. End of your exhalation, slowly release. Let it go. Come back to hands and knees. Now listen. Come down to just your right forearm. So like you're going into Dolphin Pose with your right arm only. You're going to scoot your left hand back and slightly out to the left. So it's like you're doing chaturanga with your left arm. Get your shoulders nice and level. So if somebody was looking at you from the front, straight on, your shoulders would be straight across from one another. If your left shoulder is rolling and collapsing forward, then squeeze your left shoulder blade towards your spine. Relax your neck, soften your face. Now, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips. So one-arm dolphin, or in forest yoga, I believe this is dolphin strut. Press down into your right forearm so your right shoulder is strong, and then keep your left arm engaged, just like you're doing a little push-up with your left arm. Relax and soften through your face. Lift up from your belly button. That invisible rope is pulling up. Stay here, take your right leg to the sky. You've got 3 more breaths. Left arm strong, right shoulder strong, belly engaged, soften your face.
If your right leg is lifted, can you spread through your right toes or activate your right foot? Take one more round. Big, huge, full body breath. Good work. End of your exhale. Right foot to the ground, knees to the ground. Keep your toes tucked under, knees about hips width distance apart. And then we're going to sit back onto our heels for screaming toe pose. Don't let your heels drift out to the side. Hug your inner heels in. And spine nice and long. You can just rest here and breathe. Or if it would feel nice, maybe you circle your head around a little bit, or even just draw smiley face shapes with the crown of your head back and forth. So just working into your neck a little bit, softening. Your toes are tucked under, so as that heat starts to build in the soles of your feet, know that it is good for you. Send your breath into it, soften around it. Got about 3 more. Nice job, my friends. Take one last breath. If you want to exhale out your mouth, you can. And then let's come forward to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. Give them a gentle tap against the ground. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. So as you move back into your down dog, feel extra awareness in your feet, extra energy in your feet, aliveness. Now find your breath. Next, inhale, right leg to the sky. Go ahead and open your right hip this time. So bend your knee, stack right hip on top of left, squeeze through your outer right butt cheek. Keep your right foot active. Keep both hands rooted, both shoulders strong. See if you can lift your right knee a little bit higher. One more inhale. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So just curl in, hollow out. Step your right foot forward, low lunge. And then let's take a nice hip stretch. So bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of your yoga mat and even a little bit forward. You choose back knee stays lifted or back knee can come down. I'm going to bring my back knee down. And then without just sinking all of your weight over to the left side, which I know is super tempting because it's so much easier, try to push your weight to the right and then lower your upper body towards the ground. You can spin your right toes out to the right. You can roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot. Just make sure you keep your ankle nice and strong. So if you're down on your forearms, keep your weight primarily in your right forearm. And as long as you're pushing your weight to the right, you really can just relax around the pose and soften. Take about 3 to 5 more deep breaths. And allow yourself to just be in sensation, be uncomfortable. That's part of this practice. Learning how to sit with discomfort without reacting. Just responding from presence, from love. Really from a place of internal wisdom. So if you need to adjust, you can always adjust, but the goal is not to adjust because you're so frustrated and you're so angry and it's so uncomfortable, but adjust because you're trying to make this pose work better for your body. You're allowing yourself to just feel into it, be with it, breathe into it. Let's take one final round. Exhale out your mouth if you want, and then rise back up to your hands. Walk your right foot back to midline, so you're going to be framing your right foot again, and then if your back knee is on the ground, lift it back up. 3-legged down dog, right leg to the sky, open up your right hip, stay here, or option to flip your dog. Right toes come down behind you, right arm reaches forward, lift your hips. Lift your heart, breathe down into your belly. Wherever you're at, one more full round. Fullest expression for you. And then end of your exhale, regular down dog, and just walk it out. Take a moment, pedal it out. If you'd like to move through a vinyasa, you're welcome to do so. And then everybody will meet in a tabletop. So if you're in down dog, set your knees down gently. Tabletop position. We'll move into our modified side plank. So left foot to the outside of your mat, like a little kickstand. Right leg reaches back, right arm to the sky, open it up. Now with your right foot still on the ground for now, reach your right arm forward. So press down through your right foot and reach through your right fingertips. Tons of length on your right side. If this feels nice, maybe this is where you want to stay. Otherwise, float your right foot up. And then final option is to move into the bind. Bend your right knee, reach back, grab, hold. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. See if your heart will open up towards the sky. So shoulders open, heart opens, breathe. Your fullest expression, 2 more rounds. Nice work, my friends. End of your second exhale. Slowly release. Come back to hands and knees. And we've got that super fun, funky dolphin pose. So come down to just your left forearm. Scoot your right hand back about a foot or so, and then I bring my right hand all the way up to the width of my yoga mat. So think chaturanga with your right arm, dolphin pose with your left arm. Get your shoulders nice and even. Make sure your right shoulder is plugged into the socket, so your right shoulder shouldn't be collapsing forward. Relax your neck, soften your face, and tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, your one-arm dolphin pose or dolphin strut. So imagine that invisible rope pulling up on your belly button. Your head should not be touching the ground. So press down through the belly of your left forearm and keep your right arm strong. Stay here or left leg to the sky. Active through your left foot, strong through your left leg. Big deep breaths. Take 3 more. I promise you are stronger than your mind tells you you are, so know that your body can hold you for 3 breaths, I promise. Soften through your outer body, through your outer shell. Right shoulder is plugged in. Left forearm presses down. Last round. You can exhale out your mouth if you want. And end of your exhale, left foot down, knees down. Remember, toes tucked under, knees hips width distance apart. And let's sit back one more time for our screaming toe pose. So spine long, face soft, and if you want to explore that little bit of movement through your head and your neck, please feel free. Slow deep breaths. Couple more rounds here. Just allowing. End of your next exhale. Let's come forward to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. Gently tap the tops of your feet against the ground or wiggle your feet around. Maybe roll out your ankles, whatever calls to you. Eventually, downward facing dog. Take it back. So feel that aliveness in your feet, even in your toes. From your down dog. Big inhale, left leg high. Then open up your left hip now. So bend your left knee, reach your left knee out, and then up. Both hands stay rooted, shoulders stay strong. Belly button is lifting up towards the sky. So you feel that connection to center. Squeeze through your outer left butt cheek. Activate your left foot. One more inhale here. Exhale, left knee to your nose first. So curl in, hollow out. Step your left foot forward. We'll take our hip opener again. So hands to the inside of your left foot. Left foot walks out to the width of your mat and a little bit forward. Back knee can stay lifted for more intensity, or back knee can come down for a little less intensity, up to you. Start to lower your upper body towards the ground, not by sinking over to the right side. So if I sink over to the right side like this, it's like, woohoo, I could stay here for probably an hour and not much is happening. So I want you to push your weight to the left. And if you're on your forearms, try to keep most of your weight in your left forearm. Left toes can spin out to the left. You can roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. And as long as you are pushing your weight over to the left, you will stay in the integrity of the posture, and then you really can just soften with each breath. We'll be here for about 4 more rounds, 4 or 5. If it's uncomfortable, like it is for me, just be with that discomfort. Yoga is not about being comfortable. It's about finding your edge, and then with love, compassion, presence, just sitting with it, breathing into it, softening around it. And then slowly, without even realizing it, one day, your edge changes and go a little bit deeper. So we're never forcing anything, and we're not even trying to arrive anywhere. We're just exploring where we are at, meeting ourselves there. Take about 2 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. Breathe down into your left hip. All right, and then let's start, end of your next exhale, to come back up. So lift your upper body back to your hands if you're not already there. Work your left foot back to midline, so you're gonna be framing your left foot again. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. 3-legged down dog, so left leg all the way back and up. Open your hip, bend your knee, stay here, or option to flip it. Left foot comes down, left arm reaches forward. Breathe into your belly. Reach your heart forward. If you're in the back bend, really press down through your right hand. Make your legs strong. 1 more round wherever you're at. End of your exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it out. And this is our last down dog. If you'd like to take one final vinyasa, please feel free. Give yourself 1 more great big breath in your down dog. Lots of length, lots of space. End of your exhale, set your knees on the ground. Come into a seated position. All right, we're gonna take a seated hip opener today. I know Jill and Travis, you guys are familiar with these poses, but I'll instruct just in case somebody watching these videos later needs more instruction. So double pigeon with your right shin on top. So right shin on top, left shin on bottom for double pigeon. Feet flexed and active. You can either sit up tall, or if your right knee is level with your hip, you can work on folding forward. If this is too much for you, here are a couple options that you can take instead. So left leg extended forward, outer right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Both feet flexed, just sit up nice and tall here. And then also you can bend your left knee, left foot on the ground like so. Hands behind you, lean back as much as you need to. Try to keep your heart lifted. To take this deeper, you'll move your legs closer to your upper body and your left heel closer to your butt. So you can take it as deep as you want and even kind of rock side to side with your legs if you'd like. So whichever pose, whichever variation you are in, be there, breathe into it. If you're in double pigeon and you're folding forward, really think of reaching your right butt cheek back. Lengthen through your lower spine. Got about 4 or 5 more breaths. I'm just watching the weather outside right now, and it's snowing again. Utah is a really good practice, I think, living in Utah and the weather we have here. It's a good practice for just letting go of expectations. You never know what to expect. You gotta go with the flow. And if you don't go with the flow, it's gonna cause your own suffering. So that is one of the lessons, one of the many lessons I've learned from my practice. The more I resist, the more I hold myself back from just experience what is already here, from just experiencing fully this moment, the more I cause my own suffering. So right now, if you're uncomfortable, if your hips are uncomfortable, if you're mad because it's snowing outside, whatever's going on, realize that it's already happening, it's already here. Can you just surrender to it? Allow it. Let go of your own resistance to it. Jeff Foster has a reading and he'll say, what is worse, the rain or your resistance to getting wet? And I always think about that. All right, my friends, end of your next exhale. Let's slowly release. So if you're in a fold, slowly rise back up. And then everybody, let's bring our hands behind us, uncross your legs. You can give them a nice little shake out. Take a moment, feet on the ground, knees bent, feet mat width distance apart, and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then when you feel good with this movement, you feel complete with it, I think this is feeling really good, so I'm going to take a couple more. Just start to set yourself up on the other side with your hip opener. So left shin on top. Probably the same variation you took before, but if this side feels a lot tighter, a lot more open, maybe you want to explore that and go somewhere else. So all variations, ankles strong, flex your toes. If you're going for a forward fold, reach your left butt cheek way back and try to keep both sit bones rooted, low spine, nice and long. And just allow yourself to be here fully, to settle more with each breath. Surrender, let go, and soften. About 3 more rounds here. Exhale out your mouth anytime. And I'm just going to leave it up to you. So if you feel like you were on the other side a little bit longer, please stay a little bit longer. When you feel pretty much even on both sides, You're going to ease your way out of this and do the same thing, windshield wiper with your knees, but this time do it from a supine position, from lying down on your back. So no rush. Eventually we'll all meet up on our backs, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Take your time transitioning. From your windshield wiper pose, eventually just let both of your knees fall to one side and keep them there for about 3 breaths or so. And this is going to be our spinal twist for today, so if there is a different variation of a supine spinal twist that you'd rather take, choice is always yours. Breathe down into your low back, your hips, your pelvis. If you're a really visual person, maybe you visualize your root chakra. The color is red for your root chakra, and you can visualize that red light or red orb just expanding and contracting with your breath at the base of your spine. And then switch to the other side. So knees to the opposite side. Same thing, a few deep breaths. Leave it up to you when you feel even on both sides with your twist. Come back to center and let your knees fall in for a moment. So feet stay wide, knees fall in. And this is constructive rest pose. In my personal opinion, this is one of the best positions if during your day you have a moment where you're just chilling, maybe you're watching the news, you're watching your show on TV, maybe you're listening to some music, this is a great position to come into. Feet wide, knees fall in, and just rest here for about 5 minutes, even 10 minutes if you have it. It will open up your low back. You can breathe down into your low back. Funny because it doesn't feel like much is happening, but be here for 10 minutes and you will feel it, I promise. So if you want to do that right now, if you want to stay here for the remainder of class, you're welcome to. Otherwise, if there are any final poses, any finishing movements that are calling to you, maybe one last inversion, one last heart opener. I always love ending my practice with a happy baby. So take your time, transitioning eventually into your final relaxation. And it's 10:20, so I didn't end the class in an hour, but that's okay. For my birthday, my parents gave me the Ram Dass book called Be Here Now. It's I think it's his most iconic book, and I was so excited to get it. And it looks, a lot of you have probably seen it before. It's almost like his journal. It looks really neat. If you want to look at the screen, it's just like all really cool designs. And anyways, I wanted to share this page with you. And he just says, consciousness equals energy, equals love, equals awareness, equals light, equals wisdom, equals beauty, equals truth, equals purity. It's all the same. It's all the same trip. Any trip you want to take leads to the same place. And then it just has the Om sign, or you guys are all familiar with it, the Om symbol in Sanskrit. So it's just a reminder, we're all, when we practice yoga, when we practice mantra, when we practice breath work, even Ram Dass, I think in his time, he was doing lots of psychedelics. It's all taking us to the same place. It's all taking us to that place deep inside, which is just pure consciousness, pure energy, pure love, light, wisdom, truth, purity. It's getting us to that place deep inside where we are beyond our ego, we are beyond all the layers and layers of stuff that's built up throughout our lives. So the things that we think are who we are, maybe we're a mother, we're a sister, we're a yoga instructor, we're a school teacher, all those identities that are who we show up as in our everyday life. That's all temporary stuff. That's a role we're playing. So underneath it all, what's there, what's present? And that's just your pure energy, your pure light, love, what you are made of. So for these last few moments, just feel into that deep within, that place of steadiness, that place of stillness. If you want to leave and just seal your practice for yourself when you are ready, please feel free. Otherwise, I'll bring you out of Shavasana in just a few minutes. Enjoy.
breath in. Feel this prana move through your body down to the tips of your toes, up to the crown of your head, out into your fingertips. Exhale, let it go. Slowly, gently bring movement back into your body. And then as you're ready, fetal position on either side, and you can use your arm as a pillow for your head. And take just a moment to rest on your side body, breathe into your back body, and just feel the support of the ground underneath you. Use the strength in your arms to guide yourself up into a seat. Eyes closed, hands gathered at heart center. I'm going to seal this practice with the sound of Om. So from home, you're welcome to join me. Om is that sound that symbolizes the deepest part of you, where you come from, where you return to. It's the sound of creation, the sound that was here, that existed before this earth, before anything was here, before we were here. So it's where we go when we die, where we return to, where we came from. It's just symbolic of all of that. The universe, source, the infinite. So hands to heart, exhale in your breath. Breathe in your voice. Thank you for joining me, for letting me guide you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.